dating in New York versus LA.
Well, I've never dated out here. I don't know.
Oh.
But you just be fucking out here.
This podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat. We've been laughing so hard.
We have just been going off. That's just a little treat for Anna. We just kept the cameras rolling. Should we release that? The conversation we just had.
A lot is happening.
There has been a lot happening. And it's just a really special time in Raina's
We have been laughing. Another thing that's really funny.
We're not trying to gatekeep it from you guys. It's just...
We'll talk about it.
We have secrets.
Yeah, you know, I have a personal life and I have a public life. But what is really funny is that you met your now fiance 6 weeks before your 40th.
6 weeks.
So I am coming up on that week.
Yes.
So I do have a date this week.
No, I was like, has she missed the cutoff?
No, it's this week.
You can still find your person 6 weeks before your 40th, everybody. But Raina's cutting it close.
This week. I had a date last night. It's not going to be him. Nice person, not a love match, but I have something lined up.
I really
I have 2 things lined up this week.
I want this for the brand. Because if you really can do this the exact same way I did it, that's the book. You have another book pitch for me, but that's the book.
Yes.
Find him before 40.
Find him before. Just get him and grab him.
At the buzzer. Grab him up.
I have one date with this guy whose profile says big heart, bigger. And that guy's just for sex.
To say you have a big dick, I want to be like, you know anything about my history? And you too. You blew a guy that had you blew a guy that had like a 10-inch cock. And we never released his podcast episode. No, like, it's a crazy thing to say.
He knocked my voice box out. I couldn't record the episode.
That was the COVID. No, it's a crazy thing to say. I mean, your dick better be
the size
at your
of,
knees.
Totally. Like, to say it.
To say it. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't need that big of a dick. It can't physically fit. I always say this. You just want it in your mouth. You just want to test your gag reflex. But it is a wild thing. Like, it's one of those things that piques someone's curiosity. Like, if a sexually charged woman, you're like, I gotta know.
Oh, I gotta know.
For either way, A, I gotta see this big old dick that you brag about on this app, or B, if it's not big, I gotta tell all my girlfriends.
Oh, we're gonna be talking about it.
How I got scammed.
I'm gonna be on the way home just in a group chat with 15 people.
You're like, it was 4 inches hard.
His heart actually wasn't that big.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, Raina, yeah, she's got 1 week to find him, and she's trying. She's doing everything she can, so.
Okay. All right, well, let's talk about our partners. Thanks to Rocket Money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions at rocketmoney.com/GGE. Cancel those dating app subscriptions. I'm going to find my man. And Skims, shop Skims Ultimate Bra Collection and more at skims.com and Skims LA flagship on Sunset Boulevard.
And thank you to Iris Store. Get a huge discount on the Iris Store Elite at irisstore.com with code GGE.
You, by the way, you look great today.
Thank you.
You look very good. You kept us waiting 45 minutes, but it was worth it.
Raina,
I told you it was
I
worth
am
it.
injured.
Nice.
And I will talk about it. No.
What did I say on that voice note? Your butthole's injured, not your legs.
Yeah, you did say that, but it's all connected.
Yeah, that's true. Your butthole.
And I had a rough morning.
But you looked really nice. I mean, I said, imagine like keeping people waiting 45 minutes and not walking in looking great.
So I have a date tonight.
Every time you say it.
No, I'm excited. We have a date night, and we try to do one date night a week. And tonight we're going to this place called River, RVR, in Venice. It's such a hot spot. We've already been. We went, me, you, and Taylor, and like sat at the communal table. And I made this reservation weeks ago because it's kind of hard to get in. So I was like, I'm just going to look on Resi and see what date is available. So I've had this like booked for weeks. We're going to go. We're going to get dressed up. But I also look great because we went to Dr. Barrett. Yeah. Got my Daxify done. I'm feeling so fresh-faced. I hadn't been in 4 months. I feel like I'm like pushing out my Daxify is what I get. It's the same as Botox, but better, I guess. And we obviously go to Dr. Daniel Barrett. He's been on the podcast in Beverly Hills, and we just love him so much. And he's, you know, he's the reason we look the way we do. And
yeah. I just came for the love of the game. I didn't even get anything done this time.
I know.
I just love being there. I love talking to them. I love everybody in the office. It's such a nice environment. And he did a reconstruction of my breast reduction. And so I just like, I feel indebted to him forever.
He's just so good. Like he's truly the best. And we were trying to like get my like wedding schedule right. I mean, who knew? But I just like, I'm on a schedule and now I'm kind of in a weird place where I got to go sooner, like shorter between, or like stretch it out now for like 5 months and then go. I mean, I'll figure it out. This is not a big deal.
I was wondering because I've asked a couple different like Botox injectors when you are supposed to get it, and people say like 3 to 4 weeks before your wedding.
Yeah, and I've been doing the same thing with him for a year and a half now. Like I know I can go a month before, I can go 2 months before, it's whatever. But the date thing, we sent our save the dates out. They all went to spam.
I forgot about that. I felt really sad.
Maybe 4 people ended up in their primary folder. All of them went to spam.
I felt really sad for you. I felt that sad for me because I was like you told me you were sending them out and I was really excited for like that rush of opening it. And then you had to tell me.
We had to text everybody it's in your spam.
I mean, it's also a crazy feeling because you hit send and you think that like the texts are going to start rolling in.
Yeah.
And were you just like, is everybody fucking serious? No one's going to make a
I
big
knew,
deal
no,
about this?
we knew they were, when we sent ourselves a test, it went to my spam.
Oh, you already knew?
Yeah, so we were prepared at least.
Oh, imagine
and
not
it's just
knowing.
so frustrating. I mean, you love to see it because it's like a mass email technically from a company you didn't sign up to get these from. So it's going to end up in promotions in Gmail. It wasn't in like, but some people it was in their junk.
No,
my brother was like top of my trash.
It was in my trash.
In the trash.
Yeah, it was my spam
Or
folder.
save the dates went to the trash.
It's just interesting though because like all the other companies that do this, like Partyful is one that I use a lot. Like it doesn't go to people's spam. They figured out how to like game this system.
Well, Partyful or Evite, I mean, this company that we're using, I actually do love it, but it is newer and I don't know, it's not maybe the traditional ones. So who knows? But yeah, it's just those people have it figured out, or you definitely have gotten emails from them before. This is a brand new sender for a lot of people. But did I tell you this? I can't remember if I sent this to you. I sent it out and then I was like chatting with my other best friend, Corey, from childhood. And I'm going to get really emotional. She was like, I was kind of waiting to tell you this, but Ham and my actual anniversary is actually November 1st when we got actually married. It makes me really emotional because
Did you know this?
No.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
because she said something about election day and I was like, oh my God, right, election day. The day after Trump won in 2016, I flew to Mexico for her wedding. So I knew it was around there. And I was like, our anniversaries are so close. And she was like, I've been waiting to tell you this, but our actual anniversary when we got married, because we went to Mexico and, had the ceremony, but it was November 1st. I was like, we have the same anniversary.
What are the odds?
It's really special.
That is really special. Like really, really special.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
You
That
guys
was
can
just
take
a
like
special
anniversary
thing.
trips together.
I know.
You know what I was thinking is so interesting? Like you're getting married. My other best friend is getting married. My like sister-in-law just had a baby. Some of our best friends who I was just in Vegas with, they just had a baby. It's he's a year old. It's interesting because I'm almost 40 and I'm in this phase of life, almost 40, where all of my closest friends are getting married and having babies. Like it's unheard of. Like
I know.
I didn't do this on purpose. I didn't like interview all these people I've known my whole life at like 20 years old and said like, promise you're going to wait a super long time to get married and have kids. Like so many people around me are just entering this phase of life. It's really interesting. And I don't have a bunch of friends in their 20s. Like these are friends my age. Mm-hmm. So isn't that so odd?
Yes, I think about it all the time. Like it just felt like there was people, we were all like in our friend group, like before Andrew Collin got married, we were all engaged. Like, and I know Andrew's in his 40s, Brenna's young, but Taylor's our age. I mean, Kate and Chad a little bit younger, but it was just like, I'm 41 and our friends are just like getting engaged.
I think that's so crazy.
Or having kids, like you said. I love to see it.
I was talking to my brother about this because we were talking about like bringing babies on trips and having to like stay home. I had hosted a Super Bowl party and a friend of mine who had just had a baby said to me like, can I bring the baby? And I said like, I don't know. I don't think you're going to enjoy being at this with your baby. But it's interesting that I am having these conversations now at this age.
I know.
Because I think it's pretty rare.
I mean, it's definitely all changing. I mean, I feel like every day we see a new study or article about women choosing not to get married or have kids, but just doing it later in life and prolonging all this and for a multitude of reasons.
And I love it.
We've experienced that in real life.
I love it because I think it gives people hope that like you don't have to have it all figured out by 27, 28, 30.
No.
Like so many people in my life that are really successful, worthwhile, amazing people like waited a really long time to do this. And so I like that notion.
Yeah.
But I feel like I didn't expect to be this age in this phase of life.
I know. This is a big part of my set that I'm doing on my tour too. Being like an older bride.
Yeah.
Like do it. But anyway, speaking of that, we went to Phoenix and Raina hosted the show.
It was so fun
nice.
to be a part of it. Thank you for including me.
my God.
I mean, I loved it. I mean, I've seen your hour. I always feel like it gets better every time I see you do an hour. I had so much fun. We had such a great girl trip because like it was going to be you and Brittany, and then I was like, oh, I really want to go to this.
Well, it was perfect. I needed a host. Like, Brittany's not going to host and feature, So Raina hosted, then Brittany featured, and then it was just so fun. Like I just had this moment of like, God, to be able to do this with your friends. This is a work trip, like we're all like boarding the plane together. Like we're going to like stand on stage and make people laugh. What a blessing.
Yeah, a friend of mine, because you posted the three of us on a plane, you'd posted like work trip and I posted like, these are my colleagues. And a friend of mine was like, I'm so jealous. And I was like, oh, don't be. We're just, this is like, we're going to be back in 12 hours. She was like, no, that like, those are your colleagues.
Yeah, like that we get to do this.
Yeah. And you were fantastic. And I love our audience so much. And I just want to like say that we hear this all the time, but the venue staff, the waitresses and the managers could not stop saying to us how wonderful our audience is, what a pleasure it is to have women here, women comics, female audience. And a lot of people bring their partners, of course. It's still, I don't know, would you say like a 30-40% men on a...
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of couples and I love it.
Yeah.
And the guys are laughing, they're loving it. I get messages after. My husband, my boyfriend, my fiance loved it. So it's not this like sorority party, like it's definitely a mix.
I just want to like hype our audience because like time and time again, every venue we ever perform in is like, you guys have the best audience. Every guest that comes on the show says the same thing. Like, I just feel really blessed by the people that have stuck with us all these years.
Yeah, I want to keep it positive, but like it shows a difference between like women and men. And I'm not saying that every male comic is badly behaved or their audience is, but the people that work in these places are so excited for a heavy female crowd and performers. Like the green room server, she was just like, you guys don't understand how great this is for me to not have men harassing me. We were just cutting up with her, hanging out with her, when she was telling us kind of some like not so great stories about what happens when it is male performers and then a heavy male audience. And it makes me emotional to think about like how excited they get to see all these women come in because everyone's going to get treated better, and like the vibes are better. Just, it's so nice. So that's a testament to all you guys that come out to obviously my shows, but Girls Gotta Eat shows and women.
Yes. Individually, the staff kept coming up to us. Like, it wasn't like one person overheard another person. Like, the green room server said it. One of the barroom servers came up to me. The female manager came up to me.
Yeah.
Everybody separately.
Yeah. Oh,
had
yeah.
this independent thought about how great you guys are.
And this was the way it is in Chicago. The way these people treat me because of like, I treat them well and with respect, and then it's the audience. Like, they're just like, these are the people we want in these venues, and they drink and spend money.
Yeah. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah. But we had these like moments in the green room. We were laughing so hard. Like we were just like, should we just take this out on stage, the three of us, and see if people bite? Like two things happened that were some of the funniest things that have happened like of the year.
Okay, so Brittany and I are both single. She's really inspired me to like be on the dating apps more because she's had some like pretty good luck with Field and Hinge. And she was showing us this profile, this guy, and I am constantly amazed, by the way, by like what people will put on their profiles. Like, I think we've had Logan Ury on the show a couple times. She's the chief data scientist at Hinge. We've talked to her quite a bit about how to build a dating app profile. I was actually talking to my single guy friend in Vegas who was with us, and he was saying like half the women on there say like, if you don't expect to pay for a date, don't even talk to me. And I was like, it's interesting that people like lead with negativity or write so much.
Yeah.
Because I think that like, I would think common sense is like, you don't need to write too much. You don't need to and definitely take the negativity out of it. Don't neg people. Don't make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I know that it's intimidating also to write a profile. And I laugh sometimes thinking about like what people I've dated. Well, you and I have talked about that, what they would have built a profile from.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, this guy, first prompt, The way to win me over is
You have to read it the way you read it.
makes a 9-point list. If you're past 3 numbers, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
He went to 9. Number 1, lots of sex.
Oh, that was number 1.
That's how he led with it.
Also, this is Hinge.
This is Hinge. This is not Field, by
not
the way. Field, sure.
I forgot lots of sex was first.
Number 1.
It goes all downhill from there. That's the least egregious.
Also, a person that leads with lots of sex
Yeah.
on Hinge,
Yeah.
I know that the rest of the list is going to be psychotic. Number 2, ruthless communication. Ruthless.
Ruthless.
What
If
does
you
that
have
mean?
written ruthless on a dating app prompt, you need to dial it back.
I don't want you to do anything to me that's ruthless. I don't want you to ruthlessly make fun of me. I don't want ruthless.
Ruthless.
What does that mean?
Right.
Nonstop?
Not right. What does it mean?
Is it the tone
Hold
of
on,
voice?
can I
Is
just-
it the volume of communication? Is it the tone of the communication?
First of all, he might not know what it means.
I don't think he knows
In
what it
his
means.
defense,
I think he just means like
he's just using words.
a lot of open communication.
I do want to read the definition to ruthless. Having or showing no pity or compassion for
No
others.
mercy.
Communicating with no pity or compassion. No mercy.
Communicate to the death.
Synonyms are cruel, heartless, pitiless, merciless, hard. That's how you want to be communicated with? That's so funny because like if you went into that and you just started like really berating him, being very cruel, uncompassionate, you'd be like, you said ruthless
asked for
communicate.
this.
You asked for this.
Ruthless communication. I don't think that guy knows what that word means. Number 3, constant support.
Constant.
No breaks. No days off. Sometimes 2-a-days. Constant support. Brutal honesty.
Brutal
Did you need to say that after ruthless communication?
Right.
That's a little redundant. Number 5, fast forgiveness.
Fast forgiveness.
We know that this type of person needs to be forgiven often and
Yes.
quickly.
This guy is like, I am going to piss you off.
Number 6, unconditional encouragement.
Conditional
There are
encouragement.
no conditions for which you have to encourage me. So if I don't know, let me see if you guys even pick up on this reference. Unconditional encouragement means if you haven't launched a bar, you're a year before launching a bar and you've come up with like a logo
bar.
and you throw a party for that bar in a city that bar, state, honestly, that bar doesn't even exist in, and you still have not broken ground on that bar, I'm going to go to that bar opening.
And the bar doesn't serve alcohol.
Yes, also that.
You know what? Crack the code, you guys.
You guys know what I'm talking
Just for the Bravo girlies.
Number 7, prioritize each other. He takes it down a notch.
Okay.
He just wants to prioritize.
He's like, I did too much.
Prioritize each other. Number 8, physical affection.
I'm surprised there wasn't an amplifier for that. I'm surprised it wasn't like smothering affection.
Yes. And also physical affection. You already said lots of
of
sex. By the way, after brutal honesty, constant support, fast forgiving, unconditional encouragement. Number 9, shared spiritual growth.
That's the punchline. Shared spiritual growth. Who is spiritual that also is ruthless? The math is not mathing. I can't get over it.
Who wrote this and thought, nailed it.
Send it.
That's what's going to get them. Like,
Full send.
what? I read a lot of profiles that are so aggressive, and I wonder who is swiping yes on that, because this is a response to a relationship that you were in that lacked all these things. And
Yeah.
you're like, let me just make my list of stuff I hated to get ahead of it. But like, I can't imagine a person saying yes to this. I wonder what the return rate on something like this is.
I know.
Because all these things are great. You know, of course you want like honesty, support, sex, encouragement, and prioritizing each other. But like, it's too much, and all this goes without saying. We all want these things.
Yeah, I wonder what that guy's like in person. I mean, I wouldn't want to find out personally, but we told Brittany too. But be safe. And speaking of aggressive, the other thing we were laughing at was Brittany and Brittany, This Is the Worst podcast. They did this thing recently where they read their hate comments on their podcast and they posted a reel about it. And we were just discussing that. And I was like, I got this DM years ago that was so mean and nasty. And it was probably the meanest DM I've ever gotten. And it was from this girl that used her real profile, which was insane. She was public. And I was like, you're going to say that shit to me with your whole chest? I put it on my story. And I didn't care. Like, I was just like, you're asking for it. I don't do that a lot. I
don't
put it
think
on my
you've ever
story.
done it since.
Yeah, I don't need to be doing that because I know people are going to come for her. But I was like, I'm gonna send it. But I pulled it up because I was like, I also remember it being like funny.
And we never read it. And I also she said we did this like hate comments episode. You and I were like, couldn't be us. Like, we're never going to search that information out. You guys can write whatever you want about me on the internet. I'll never see it. I'm not going to look at it.
Yeah.
I can't, I have to protect my energy. But like, when you think like, what's the kind of hate comments you want? Like, it's something that's so unhinged.
Yes, it was unhinged. It shook me in the moment because it was so nasty, but then I like laughed about it and everyone got a kick out of it. Whatever people did, because it was out in the open who this girl was, that's on them. But I was like, for once, I'm going to blast somebody. I can't believe you didn't write that with your Finsta. So,
well, let's talk about what you did to provoke her.
Yes, we were on a trip. We were on a trip in Greece, and
your birthday trip.
It was my birthday trip. Yeah, so this was my birthday, and shit was on fire in America, like it always is. And so I posted a photo of us on this boat in Greece on the 4th of July. I said, "America, who?"
Also, it could mean just I like being on this boat in Greece and not come back from Greece. Everybody goes to Europe or Asia and it's just like,
I don't need to defend
never
it.
coming home. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't mean anything.
It shouldn't have been so triggering.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, so she came in 11:04 p.m. I mean, that was what time it was in Greece. I don't know what time it was stateside. Okay. LOL, America, who? Then move, you absolute hideous big fupa twat. Stop.
You guys, I'm going to muffle my laughter.
No, to Brittany and Ren, we were on the floor.
I couldn't breathe.
Stop shitting on the country that allows you to be as absolutely hideous as you are, yet still make a semblance of a living laugh emoji. Semblance? I'm doing great. I'm on a boat in Greece. What semblance of a living? You are an actual trash emoji can.
By the way, did she do the trash emoji and then write can?
Yes.
That's a little redundant.
It's the redundancy for me. Honestly, the length of your vagina is concerning.
Are you a doctor?
Honestly, the length of your vagina is concerning. 3 laugh emojis. You might be the ugliest woman that has ever... You might be the ugliest woman that has ever walked the planet. And it's not even just because you're physically absolutely fucking hideous.
Can't breathe.
But your spirit and your soul is black dust.
I just have tears going down my face.
You ooze disgustingness. You make people shudder.
This girl's so mad at you.
Yikes. She spells it. YIKES. Yikes. You trash horse bitch. Mic drop.
She loves America and hates you.
Oh my God. Yeah. So,
drop the handle. No, I'm just kidding.
just the intensity of that. Like, I was like, let's put on the story. The vagina thing. I was like, this
Wait,
is.
will you tell me the first lining? A big fuba twat.
It's just so funny because, I'm not hideous.
My vagina isn't even that long. I mean, you're tall. I mean, it's just like an average size.
I talk about my camel toe and all that stuff. Whatever. It was unreal. And I'd forgotten how aggressive it was. Like, I think I looked at it in the moment and I didn't reference it again. And so I had forgotten too. So we were reading this in the green room. We were on the floor. That was one of my favorite, like, girls laughing moments I've had in a long time where nobody can catch their breath.
I mean, I'm still laughing so hard at this. She was so mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine what you could have done to incite this type of anger. You're just on a birthday trip with your friends.
The fact when we were laughing about this, like, and then Raina goes, "And wasn't it your birthday?" Then we started laughing all over again.
That person needs help. I cannot believe something like what happened. I'm curious what happened to her that day. That she was just scrolling through your stories. You're just minding your own business on a trip for your birthday, and she was like, "I'm gonna write the meanest thing I can possibly."
I'm curious what happened to her after I posted it. Also,
I hope she had a really bad day, week, month here.
So anyway, that was Phoenix, and that's the BTS of the green room. And I do just want to talk about my medical history. I've said that I would because I said I was like going to the doctor last week on the sack. So something resurfaced that happened to me in 2022. And I talked about this, that I had like a cyst situation in my butt crack. Babe, turn this off if you're listening. This is for my fiance. He needs to turn it off right now because he knows sort of it, but not all the details.
And you didn't tell him all the details?
No, he knows what's going on, but not like all the language. I mean, I don't need to tell him.
Yeah. You want to keep the magic alive.
Yeah. So
totally.
I've never, ever gotten more DMs than when I talked about it.
You really debated talking about it, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I talked about having cyst is actually the incorrect word. It's an abscess, which is disgusting.
A ruthless abscess.
A ruthless abscess on my butt. And I mean, right, I will say with certainty, I even checked today. I like put in a few keyword searches in my DMs and just floods. Like so many people were like, I've had this. Thank you for talking about it. I've never felt so seen. Doctors were in the DMs and like, we fix these and drain these all day. This is fine. This is normal. Like people felt so seen. So I had this situation and it really escalated. I don't know how much I shared in 2022. I went to a doctor, then I thought it was gone. Then it came back and then got infected. We were in LA. I had to go to an urgent care. It was like an assault on my butthole, like when I was at that urgent care in LA. And then I got an antibiotic and then I was allergic to it and I broke out in a rash while we were on GMA. It was a whole thing. And so it came out again and that's where I had to go to the doctor. And I noticed it kind of coming on and I was like trying to just like put heat on it and like fix it myself. And of course I couldn't. And we actually went to Dr. Barrett and I asked him and he was like, you need to go get that fixed immediately.
Can I tell you what made me laugh so far? We were in the office with Dr. Barrett and you're like, can I talk to you about something? I have this, and he goes, on your vagina.
I've been thinking about that too. I said, this is a little embarrassing. I'm having this issue. And he cut me off on your vagina.
It was so earnest. He's so innocent and sweet. I love him.
He just wanted to beat me to the punch. Like, I think he thought I didn't want to say it.
When he said on your vagina.
I had to be like, no, on my butthole.
No, it's somehow worse.
And he was like, oh, an anorectal abscess. Like immediately he knew. I think that's the right word. So I was able to get into this specialist who I love and see her because I was in so much pain. I started to feel like I was going to pass out.
Yeah.
Like the pain was like at a high level, which I hadn't experienced before. Like when we were recording, I was just like pushing through it. And I was like, thank God she could see me. And so I got it taken care of and they just like shoot you up with local anesthesia and then you get an incision, they drain it, and then you kind of just like, it drains out. It's disgusting, whatever. You have to keep like gauze on it and keep it dressed and all that. But Raina, the position I had to be in. So with the urgent, I'm gonna act it out. The urgent care, I was face down years ago. I was like face down, ass up, but like fully laying.
So like not in doggy.
Not in doggy. Yesterday. So there's the bed that you would lay in when you're at the gyno, and then the little step stool. No stirrups. I'm just giving you the visual. It's like the chair that reclines.
A doctor's
Not
chair.
a full bed, but the chair.
Okay.
And then there's a little step stool right here.
For me.
So she
like
said,
me.
put your knees on that step stool. And then.
What are you? No! Ashley, this is insane.
And then she said,
elbows down.
Yes.
Knees down, elbows down.
Yes.
Asshole up in the air. And you would plank like that?
Well, then my body was laying down in the bed, but
the core strength.
No, my body was laying in bed, but like it was doggy. Ankles crossed. When she put the anesthesia in, she was like, wiggle your toes. This is going to hurt. It's going to sting. Like, she was amazing.
How long did this last?
I mean, she was way better than that urgent care lady who took it upon herself to do this years ago. Like, I was in and out. She knew exactly what to do, and she, like, got it done. But that position, I was like, this is demoralizing. Like, I cannot believe this.
I'm so shook by this.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had to
But
do
that's
that.
how you got to be you got to spread them.
That's crazy.
That's what happened to me yesterday, and I'm a new woman. I mean, immediately you feel relief if you have any sort of cyst abscess type situation.
Inside your crack.
But then, I'm bleeding out of my butt, and that was painful too. And now I feel great.
Do you feel like you could have sex?
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe tomorrow. Like last night, it was off the table.
Okay.
I still had like a pad. I had to order a pad.
Butt pad?
Just a pad.
In your crack.
But I did kind of pull it up to the back. A butt pad, yeah.
It's funny that like you have to share this with somebody
Yes.
that you live with.
I know. And I'm so open with him. Like, I think that's real love. He's not grossed out by this kind of stuff. He's been with me through like weird body stuff, truly. Like, honestly, pretty early on, we dealt with something that was like a lot physically for me, and he was around for it. So he's great, but I don't need to be talking to him about this. Like,
I think that, listen, you share whatever you want with your partner. For me, the way that I've gamed intimacy, I take it even further than any, because I've lived with 3 men. I've never gone to the bathroom with the door open. I don't even pee with the door open. I just don't. I certainly would never poop with the door open. I don't talk about it. I've never farted anywhere near a partner. Just 0 partners in the world that have ever been around me farting. It's not for me. All that stuff is not for me. I know that tons of couples are not like that. I think a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? You close the door to pee. What if you're in the middle of a conversation?
Yeah.
I don't do it. It's just not something I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I will talk about anything. That is the only thing that's not on the table for me.
yes, exactly. You just don't need to see it. Like, he knows that I'm going in sometimes to the bathroom post-sex to hover over the toilet and, do what we need to do.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that stuff. It's like he doesn't need to see it. And that's also fine if you choose to keep the door open and do all that.
Lots of people are like that.
But yeah, this whole situation, going to the bathroom, it is traumatic. And I shared stuff with you this morning. I'm not telling him. It's fucking gross. That's best friend shit. That's why he's not my best friend.
Yeah, it's not your best friend.
Anyway, so I'm okay, guys. That's what's going on with me.
Okay.
Okay, well, we are just going to talk about our partners and then get into it with Jeremy. I am so excited to tell you guys about iRestore. Rain and I have been rocking these helmets. Can't wait to tell you about them.
I love them.
So this is so huge for me and so many women out there who are worried about thinning hair and they want to get their hair fuller and healthier. The iRestore Elite, which is the product that we received, is clinically proven to help regrow hair using 300 lasers and 200 LEDs that send light therapy directly into your scalp. You can just pop it on while catching up on your favorite shows or even while you relax with a good book. Whatever you're doing, you can just wear it. So I've always done red light on my face and see the effects of that. And even when we had Dr. Barrett on, he was like, that is like one of the number one things you can do for your face. And so this is basically doing that for your hair. And for a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge discount on the iRestore Elite when you use code GGE at iRestore.com. That's promo code GGE at iRestore.com to get huge savings on the hair regrowth device you've been wishing for and start feeling like yourself again. Okay, so it's this helmet. We'll throw a picture up on the screen, has all these lights. You just put it on 12 minutes daily, so not that long. It's maximum scalp coverage. It is the number one on the market, most powerful for home use. Again, 12 minutes a day. A little bit longer than they went to space, but this is longer than
This is actually worthwhile, unlike that. There are not enough jokes on the internet.
I know. In a 4-month double-blind clinical study performed by a board-certified dermatologist and laser surgeon, nearly all participants saw an increase in hair growth with iRestore's laser and LED technology. You can feel confident you're buying a system with proven results. It has the most advanced hair regrowth technology. I mean, it's just the best. I can't say enough good things about it. I'd seen these and I was like, do those really work? And so now we're really doing it. And I mean, I've just kind of started, but look at my hair today. Honestly. This is a good endorsement. Yeah. So we just love it. It's the iRestore Elite device is the best at-home laser device in the world, has more lasers, LEDs, and power output than the competition, ensuring you'll see results. We're such fans. They offer a 12-month money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. If your hair doesn't make a glorious return, you'll get a full refund, no awkward questions, just fabulous hair or your money back. Of course, this is for men, women, for whoever is, wanting to have more and healthier hair. So you can give yourself the gift of hair confidence this spring. For a limited time only, our listeners are getting a huge discount on the iRestore Elite when you use code GGE at iRestore.com. Head over to iRestore.com and use code GGE for our show's exclusive discounts on the iRestore Elite. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Hair loss is frustrating. You don't have to fight it alone, thanks to iRestore.
Okay, and Skims has brought back their ultimate push-up bra. So it's pretty much the only bras that I wear, and I really like an underwire bra, and I really think about my boobs so much. I have really put a lot of attention to them over my life. But I love their bras, and I've always wanted to wear underwire, of course. But push-up bras I've kind of struggled with because they tend to feel really bulky and heavy. And so I don't love them from other companies. But theirs really is great. So it lifts and separates, and it goes really well with different necklines, hemlines, and it's super comfortable to wear. They have a million colors and sizes, like always. It's definitely hands down my favorite push-up bra. And if you're just looking to oomph it up a little bit, look kind of sexy. You know, those bras are great. So those are out now. I love all their bras. Honestly, I wear their Fits Everybody bras as well. And I always mention this, but I sleep in these bras too. That's how comfortable that they are. So you guys can check it out. You can shop the Skims Ultimate Bra Collection and more at skims.com and Skims LA flagship on Sunset Boulevard. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And I actually am really excited to do this read. So with prices going up just about everywhere lately, being smart with your money isn't just a good idea, it is essential. But managing subscriptions, tracking spending, and cutting costs can feel overwhelming. Of course, it is for me too. But lucky for you, Rocket Money takes the guesswork out of it so you can easily make smart decisions. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I mean, from the minute I downloaded this, the interface is so easy to use. It identifies all of these subscriptions that you have. I have so many subscriptions that I signed up for a 30-day trial and then forgot about. And you're like, I've been paying for that all this time.
That's their goal.
Yeah, that's the hope. And so Rocket Money will help you to just aggregate all the subscriptions in one place so you know where your money's going, and they can help you cancel them as well. And their dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts too. So you can create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. And we did this whole great episode last week with Tori Dunlap about finance and getting your finances in order, budgeting, things like that. So this is an amazing tool if you guys were inspired by that episode as well. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Download the Rocket Money app and enter our show's name, Girls Gotta Eat, in the survey so they know we sent you. Don't wait. Download the Rocket Money app today and tell them you heard about them from our show.
Okay, and so we have Jeremy today. I just want to give a quick disclaimer up top. First of all, my energy is at a 12 in this interview. I was looking at it last night.
So amped.
I know.
To
You
have
think I have like
Jeremy
a crush on Jeremy? Like,
Yeah.
You're watching it. You're like, what is going on? I think I was so excited to like talk to our friend, and we talked about food so much. Like I was watching back. I was like, calm down, sis.
You really wanted this. I didn't care.
I had so much fun, and
Love
he's
it.
so fun. Like he just like laughs at us. It's just like a really fun interview. I'm really excited for you guys to listen to it. But as I was watching back last night, there was this like one thing I just wanted to clarify. We talk about New York versus LA food, and also dating and all kinds of things. But we talk about how kind of like the hot restaurants in New York are all like a certain type of restaurant, and just want to make it super clear that we don't think New York is all one type of restaurant. It like goes without saying. It's like this insanely diverse food scene, one of the most in the country. They have every type of cuisine in all the different types of neighborhoods. And I just felt people latching on to like, how could you say New York is all Italian? It's like, that's not what we meant. We meant like the hot spots feel similar these days.
I think New York, it is the most diverse cuisine in the world. It is a melting pot. It's the biggest population of Cantonese people outside of China. It's the best Chinatown in the world.
The best.
If you are lucky enough to go to Queens, there's so much Indian food, Indonesian food, Russian, Middle Eastern, etc. And also that's obviously in Brooklyn and Manhattan too. But I was a food blogger for years, so I don't subscribe to it all being Italian. It's just when we were talking about like the 10 hottest places right now, hardest to get into, all mostly
like,
Italian.
It's a little bit of a bummer. Like it kind of feels like everyone has hopped on just like a very specific type of restaurant, and those are like the hottest places, and there is so much more. And so I just want to make it super clear before we get into that conversation. You guys get it. Most of you will get it, but it's something that I just wanted to flag. So let's get into it.
All right, guys, we are very excited to welcome back a very long time ago guest. He is one of my dearest friends. He is a producer and a content creator. He is one of the OG food bloggers. That's how we met. Please welcome back to the show, Jeremy Jacobowitz.
I can't believe I'm back.
8 years, 7 years.
You've been trying.
Well, did you?
Your audience has been asking too. They DM all the time. Like, you should
Exactly.
be back on the show. I'm like, you gotta.
Well,
DM the
Jeremy,
girls.
it was my idea to have you back.
Oh, thank you.
It wasn't mine.
So we were supposed to record with you like the day of the fires.
Yes, I'm back in LA because the last time I was in LA, literally like when I landed, I left LAX, and as we were leaving LAX, the driver was like, "Oh, holy shit!" And we saw it.
Oh my God.
That afternoon.
Yeah, it was that afternoon, and not to whatever, but like every time I'm in LA, there's a fire. So I was like, oh, like that's
Exactly.
horrible, but okay, like didn't think about it, but obviously it was not what it seemed to be at first.
Well, I was
That's
driving to
very
pick up
dumb.
Ashley also, and I was like, oh, look, there's smoke coming from the mountain.
Yeah,
right.
there's
Yeah, yeah.
always.
Yeah.
I was thinking about some of those times when you truly have no concept of how it's going to be. Like this was when I left my apartment building in New York for COVID. It was like, see you in 2 weeks. And it was just like 3 months later. Like, you know, like we were like, well, maybe we can record with Jeremy tomorrow. Like it just got so
Right.
bad. You just have no concept. It's so terrible. So anyway, welcome back.
Thank you. Well, even the COVID stuff, like, remember, we filmed together. I filmed you guys for one of your episodes. Like, one of the last things we did as, like, a society was I went to your apartment. I
To
brought the
Ashley's
camera
apartment.
gear.
Oh, my God.
Because I remember I have the photos with all my
Yes.
gear in the back of the car with the
He-
plastic on.
he
because
came
this
and
is
shot-
the first time the plastic was, like, on an Uber. Remember that shit?
He shot for us. We did a trailer. It was our first YouTube trailer. Jeremy was in my apartment.
Yes. And then,
in
like,
your
society shut
apartment.
down.
When
Yeah,
we
in
were
your apartment.
thinking,
Yeah.
should we do video? And then jokes on us, we had to do Zoom.
Yeah, exactly.
For 3.5
Yes.
months. Remember he came and set up?
And Jeremy shot the original Girls Gotta Eat cover art.
It was
my-
in Times Square and in the billboard everywhere.
The original pose of
original,
us.
yeah.
It was
In the Williamsburg Hotel.
Yes. Oh, I meant it. I meant it.
And then we put it
was-
in Times Square.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
back down to my bad teeth, my bad eyebrows. Aw,
Nobody
cutie.
noticed with that being that big, you know.
Well, you were our, I think, third guest on the show, May 21st, 2018. We did solos
Oh
for a
my
long
God.
time. But we
Literally
we-
8 years.
Yeah. So Ashley's been trying to get you back all the
7. 7. Guys, 7. Someone's going to call me out in the comments. 7
So, like,
years.
what's been up?
You know, just living life, traveling, eating. I mean, I travel so much.
No, I'm like, is Jeremy in Japan again?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
so it's just like let's talk about Japan. Fuck it. We don't
Yeah.
really have anything planned for this episode. No, we do.
Ashley goes, do you have questions for Jeremy? I was like, yeah.
Japan is so exotic to me.
Like,
Like,
every time she says exotic, it makes
no,
me
it's like
laugh.
it's such a.
It is a
I can't
different
imagine
universe.
going. I have not been to Asia, and so
yeah.
you're always there eating egg salad.
Oh, egg salad sounds the 7-Eleven, my favorite in the whole world. Yeah, no, but like I've been now 3 years in a row to Japan.
What?
And Korea a few times in there, and Singapore. And Japan is just like, it is a different universe. It's a huge culture shock. It is. I respect the culture and love the culture and love the food. I love everything about it. But part of it is very much like, I don't experience anything like this. I've only ever lived in New York City, and going to Tokyo is completely overwhelming.
Really?
The people, the subway, the streets, the food, everything. I'm like, holy shit, this hurts my brain.
But people are more like orderly. More
I
polite.
mean, compared to America,
polite, I guess.
yeah, it's different. It's always a different kind of polite. Very, very polite. Like
There's no, like,
I
litter
went
and
to-
stuff, right?
No, absolutely
Right.
not. I went to a Maroon 5 concert at the Tokyo Dome, so it's like fucking 70,000 people there. And the concert ends. First of all, it starts at 6:30. What a dream! Starts at 6:30, and it starts at 6:30. 6:31, they were on
course.
stage.
America could never.
Never.
They're like,
8
you'll be in your seats till 9.
Yeah, at 8:30, done, just done. And then everyone's standing the whole time, right? And then it ends, and everyone sits down. And I was like, weird, but okay, like you just do what everyone else does. You do not whatever. So then what I realized is everyone sat down because they call sections out to leave
To
one at
file
a time.
out.
And that's the only way to leave.
Nothing has ever stressed me out more than leaving the Taylor Swift concert in London. It's 100,000 people, and I didn't even comprehend like what that was going to feel like
Yeah.
for 100,000 people to exit a stadium. It took us 3 hours to just get out of there, get on a train, and get
Yeah.
home. And I just my sister-in-law was pregnant. I mean, it really stresses me out.
Yet leaving Beyonce, I was like, I needed to wear sneakers just for the walk into and out of SoFi. I'm like, I feel like I took a tour of SoFi. So thank you for indulging my Japan questions. My fiance and I've talked about going there, and we'll obviously, maybe for our honeymoon, but we'll talk to you.
Yeah.
We'll
I
talk
got you.
tonight at dinner.
So if people don't know you, you're like one of the original food bloggers. Like when food was not a big thing on Instagram, you started this Instagram called Brunch Boys, and I've watched your content really just change. I mean, you've taught yourself how to really fully produce extremely amazing content, and you do a lot of travel content. So if people want like travel recs, especially like you say, like you don't call it this, but like secondary cities. So like there's a million travel videos about New York, Chicago, LA, but like you'll go to Houston or Detroit or Philadelphia and like do great travel content in those cities.
Yeah, thank you. No, I mean, that's like part of it is one, it's just like, I'm passionate about it. I love it. I mean, you say like I learned it there, but like I worked in food TV for years. I've been in this space a very long time now, 10 years influencing, which is crazy. I mean, we have friends that started with us too, and like, they don't do this anymore because you have to change and adapt, as you did.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
went and
started in
you went-
2014.
Yeah, like you went and told, both you guys started somewhere, went a totally separate direction, but you like saw what was happening, where's it going, and went with it. Where we have friends that just didn't.
Yeah, you got to
know?
pivot. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a question, which I think you do talk about this on your content, but I don't know. I feel like people listening might want to know. What do you feel like is maybe 2 of the most underrated food cities in America?
Oh, I love this question.
Houston, number 1.
Okay.
Houston is so diverse, it's crazy. Because
Okay.
they have a huge pockets of really interesting different immigrant populations there. And they all have their own little communities, and like from Egyptian to Indian to this or that, like really, really diverse. And plus Texas and Tex-Mex and, you know, all that stuff too. Philly's crushing it. Every time I go back to Philly,
it.
so good.
It's the content you produce the most that I'm just like, God, I gotta get there.
No, you're like this
Yeah.
Philly food guy.
It's so funny. Like, I probably get more DMs from Philly restaurants now than I do New York, just because like there's not like a lot of Philly food influencers. So like I've now been a few times in the past 2 years, and I guess I'm like one of the top people there now. You know,
You probably are.
Probably.
Like, those cities, yeah, they're just not as many. You know, I know at this point, like the main Boston ones, you know, there's just not going to be as many as
Right.
LA and New York.
Yeah.
So go Birds. We love to see it.
yeah.
Okay.
Where else do you like to travel to for food?
I want to get back to Montreal.
Okay.
I'm dying to get up there.
Okay.
I like the idea of the smaller stuff too. Like, not that I need to go back, but when I was in TV, I traveled so much, especially in America. And I always appreciate those things. Listen, do I want to live in Wichita, Kansas? No offense, no. But do I want to experience it and try to like appreciate what makes it good for someone else? Yes. And like, I think that's what I love about traveling, loving about experiencing things. Is like, yeah, like I love New York. I don't ever want to live anywhere else in New York. Maybe LA, but like that's it. New York or LA for me.
Yeah.
But I love seeing how other people live and not judging it in any way. Like, knowing it's not for me, but still trying to get an understanding of it. I think is like really special, and food's such a great way to experience that.
I know my mom just took this girls trip to Chattanooga, and she was like, best food city.
Maybe.
I was like, I don't know, but I mean, who am I to say?
But it might be really unique. Like I tell people about New Orleans, like it's not only is it great, you can't get it anywhere else. Like
Yeah.
no one does New Orleans cuisine like New Orleans. It's really unique
That's a
and
good
special.
call on that.
What would you say about the New York food scene versus the LA food scene? Because you really have loved the LA food scene for a very long time.
Yes.
You know it way better than I ever have.
I'll say this. I think New York has the better restaurants. I prefer the LA food scene more, though.
Jeremy, go off.
Okay, why?
But
Break
I
that
think it's a
down.
few things. I think like one, it's sort of unfair where the LA is so much bigger than New York. So just diversity, you're going to have so much more. I think that the way I like to eat like Asian food, more fresh, more seafood, more produce focused, it's easily going to be LA. I think it's easier to be a little bit riskier in LA than is in New York right now, unfortunately, just the way it works for the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
You can't take a chance. You're not going to find that space to even try and take a chance.
Totally.
Where here, you could find a really unique space, and maybe it's a little less, maybe it's somewhere else, maybe it's
yeah.
a little different kind of neighborhood, but you could try more. So you just get more of that here.
I probably told this before. I think I saw a tweet from Jared Freed before we moved here, and it said LA is the best food city in America. And I thought he was trolling. I thought he was joking. I was like, what the fuck are you saying? So I want to say that, like, as a former New Yorker, like, I was like, what are you is this a joke? Yeah. And I moved here and I was like, it's my favorite. I've never had a bad meal. I think the food here is absolutely the best. We were out one time and this guy, friend of ours, was dating this girl, and Raina goes, Ashley, get over here. Listen to what this girl said. Raina goes, tell her what you just said to me. And she was like, I'm a born and raised native New Yorker, and I think LA is the best food city in America. And I was like,
Yeah, I agree.
and this is no shade to New York. It's
no,
the best.
I mean, again, I think like the upper level of the New York City restaurants are always going to be better in LA. But it's like when I look at the openings in New York, I'm like, do we need another fancy Italian restaurant?
Another new American
It's
restaurant.
all
Yeah,
Italian.
it's all and it's all the same kind of menu. Not that it's not great food, but it's just like it's harder to take a risk. So yeah, why not open another corner store or whatever? You know what I mean? Like that works. That's hip and trendy. And like look at that menu. Great, open that up 100 more times. Where
It's funny
hard.
that you like say Italian because like a girlfriend of ours,
Yeah.
Jenny, was like, "Where should I go in New York?" And I was like, "Oh, we got you," because she picked like an area. And I wrote 4 or 5 restaurants, and I was like, "Oh my god, everyone is this Italian." Like it's new American and Italian.
Yeah.
And LA is so amazing because there's Koreatown and Thai Town and Boyle Heights for Mexican food and Chinatown. And there's just,
Which listen, New York has too. You want to go to Queens, you want to go to different places. Like
Sure.
we have that too. But
Exactly.
It is just different.
I wonder if there is something about Angelinos. We're just always know we got to be in the car and travel. Like it's not New York. You're like, I'm not going to Queens on a whim. Like you know, like
Totally.
if you live in the Lower East Side,
Yes.
like I think we're so used
But
to traveling.
it's also like I'm in Williamsburg. It's like I'll go to the West Village for a great meal. Where like here, I don't know if you're going to go that far.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just like,
I will.
we will make the trek.
Oh, really?
We're used
Because when I would make reservations on the east side, you would yell at me.
Well, tonight we're going to dinner at the Benjamin, and it's going to be an hour drive.
We're going to
It's gonna
Hollywood
be an hour-
tonight,
it's gonna be an hour
baby.
drive.
Hollywood, baby.
Okay, Jeremy, can we talk about your love for tuna? Because
Oh, man, yeah, always.
I have tuna in the fridge.
I ate tuna twice already today.
guys, it's 11 a.m. No, I'm kidding.
Gets it at the airport at like 6 a.m.
Have you always been
The
a tuna king?
LaGuardia tuna
Were you a
wrap.
tuna prince when you were a little kid?
No, but I have merch that says Tuna King on it, so I'll be the king. No, I love it. I love tuna. Great protein.
But
Healthy.
always?
Have
Like,
I
did you
always
grow
loved
up eating tuna?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
so we
mean, I'm a
did- we
Jew.
did.
We eat tuna, you know.
Jews aren't like
It's canned fish.
synonymous with tuna.
We ate a
think
lot
canned
of tuna
fish is a
growing
lot
up.
of
Yeah, we did too
Jewish,
because I'm an American. There's a lot of canned. Somebody told me the other day the only food he doesn't eat is canned tuna. Like that's the hard line.
It's so weird. I do think like people have a weird perception. People are like, it's so smelly. I'm like,
Yeah,
as a
tuna.
kid, I think I remember that, but I don't think tuna smells anymore.
I think people are like, how could you break open a tuna sandwich on an airplane?
yeah.
And you're like, I do it every
I
time
eat
I
it
fly.
before I get on the plane, normally.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. I'll take it to the lounge. I'll go pay $18 for a wrap and then go to the lounge.
And you really don't discriminate. Like, you're like high end, low end. Like, you'll eat tuna anywhere.
He has
yeah,
certain ones
basically.
he
Yeah,
likes, though.
basically.
Like
Yeah.
SIBO you like? At the
The
airport?
SIBO Express, if you're at LaGuardia, if you're at the airports, not at the Delta Terminal JFK, unfortunately. Yeah, that's
And
the
you
best
do
one.
love what's like the most famous trendy tuna? Is it the tuna cod?
Gotta be the tuna cotto.
From Joe's.
From Joe and Juice.
Okay.
Very solid. And again, just like healthy. It's healthy.
People send you like the top 10 lists of tuna sandwiches in every city. Like, what's your favorite
yeah.
tuna sandwiches
Oh,
in
yeah.
different cities?
Yeah.
What do you like in LA? What do you like in New York?
Ooh, the one at Carla Cafe is great here.
Okay. Is that
Okay.
the one that puts like a mountain of lettuce on it? You
Yes. Yeah.
You
it's
love
really
iceberg.
good. Yeah, of course. Crunch. Extra
What do you,
crunch.
What do you like in New York for tuna?
I thought you were going to say, what do you like about it? I was like, wait, no, we're going too deep. Tell me your favorite lettuce. Can you rank your three
New
favorite
York.
lettuces?
In New York, I love everything at Edith's Sandwich Counter. They make a tuna melt and their tuna bagel is fantastic.
Okay. Edith's in Brooklyn.
A tuna
and
melt.
now West Village, 2 locations now.
Okay.
I love a tuna melt.
I don't really fuck with tuna melts, but if you hand me anything, rye bread toasted with some butter, I'll fuck with it. Dating in New York versus LA.
Well, I've never
Ooh.
dated out here. I don't know.
Oh.
But-
You just be fucking out here. Jeremy, you stayed with me one week and never came home. You came here to shower. One night you were like, I'm going to the Brig. Do you want to come? Which is a bar in Abbot-Kinney. I was like, no, it's late. I'm going to. You just never came home. You
I
just
literally
went
walked by.
alone.
I walked by over here. I was like, damn, I should go back to the break.
Yeah.
I
Jeremy
was
likes
like,
to
maybe we'll
get
do a
it in.
Saturday night. Okay, shit.
Okay, so fucking in New York versus LA. More space
How's
in
the
LA.
pussy? Yeah, I know people bigger beds in LA.
Yeah. No twin beds.
I think more about the different types of girls. So clearly, like I'm on the apps when I'm out here. So I don't know if I'm meeting so many, but I think that like LA might have prettier women, but I like the style of New York more and the attitude of New York more. But I like the jobs of women out here more.
In LA?
More creative.
Who has jobs in LA?
They're all like
The women.
They're creative. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the
True.
women.
Just
Yeah,
the-
they're all in the
all
creative
of our
field.
girlfriends
They're
actually
all
have
in
great jobs.
entertainment worlds. I'm like, okay, yeah, I like that way more.
Our
So
friends
it's
do
a
have cool
mix. It's a
jobs.
mix. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the men that I go out with. I actually had good luck. I've found some men with some jobs recently.
Oh.
Do you, when you're on apps and you're talking to people, do you lead with food? Like, do you lean on it as your expertise?
Yeah, like on the Hinge stuff, like the prompt stuff is food related because
Yeah.
it's such an easy
Totally.
way in for them to answer. Like I say, like, what would you order at sushi or something?
Oh, that's
Things
cute.
we have to agree with. Papa Bagel sucks. You know, keep give it like
Jeremy is in a throwdown match to the death with Papa Bagels. You don't know about
yeah.
this?
And we better be
He
on the
was
same
so-
page or I don't want to date you.
He was mad at me that I went to their pop-up at Erewhon.
Oh, it's been like a long time.
Yeah, you know that
day
hat I
one.
wear?
This
You know
is
that
day
hat I
one.
wear that
Yeah,
says
that's-
famous but known?
Not famous, but
not
known.
Not famous but known.
Yeah.
Jeremy's mad every time I wear the hat. He's
This
in
has
a
been a
little rude. It's a little rude.
long-standing rivalry.
Day one.
Oh, you were just mad because like once they leave, like 20 minutes later, they're hard, right?
I am mad that they're not a bagel.
Okay.
I am mad at the whole concept of what they do. And again, I'm
It's a
not
roll?
actually mad at them. They could sell whatever they want.
You're mad at
I
everybody.
hate that everyone on TikTok was like, this is the best bagel I've ever had. And I'm like, well, that's not a bagel. So you guys
Right.
are getting all this fucking clout.
enjoy
clout
your
chasing off
dinner
this
roll.
one thing. And yeah, exactly. And if they said we sold hot bread, I'd be like, cool. And again, they could do whatever they want. I don't really care. It was everyone else telling me this is the greatest bagel of all time. And me going there and being like, yeah, if you eat it on the street like an animal, it tastes good. But if you eat it like a bagel, bringing it home, getting it delivered, taking it to your family.
Bring it to the office. Yeah, Tompkins Square Bagels.
Melanie
for
brought it
life.
home. What happened?
Melanie said it turned into a rock.
And her family was not happy.
It's a hard ride. Okay, Okay.
You can reheat it. Tompkins Square bagels for life in New York.
And then what are you?
There's like an elite list for me. Tompkins is up there. Utopia, I love. Baz Bagel. There's like a elite 5 to 10 places that I'm not going to go.
I went to Utopia recently. It's good.
Great.
I love Tompkins, but I am a black seed ass bitch. And I know that's
Montreal
Montreal style.
Like a hybrid. So like I don't include it because not that it isn't good. It's like when I think of my favorite bagel, it needs to be like a New York style.
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
recommend
fair.
that.
Yeah, I
people
lived by
ask me
Tompkins,
necessarily.
both of them. And then here, I mean, they're fine. I like
Getting
Gian.
better. So what's funny is now New York is opening LA style bagels. Like Apollo opens in New York, copying what Courage is doing. And what Layla's doing, like super thin, sourdough, really crispy, more about the produce, open face.
Open face.
Yeah, that's really trendy in New York right now. But like, it's people in New York that haven't had it at Courage because I'm like, dude, Courage is so much better.
Courage is in Silver Lake, and you will wait for an hour and a half, or date a guy that is an assistant that will send her there to wait in line for you.
Yeah. And I live really close to Gian and Layla.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because Layla will have a line wrapped around the block, and Raina was like, "Go next door."
Oh, it's the
And
best.
I want to gatekeep it a little bit, but like that's the hack. I like it better,
I like Gian better. It's a great bakery. They make sandwiches, open faces. They're amazing.
and it's not as long of a line. All
Yeah.
right. Well, anyway,
So you date a lot.
yeah.
Going a lot. Yeah, I go in waves. I feel like, if I want to go on dates, great. I'm going on a million dates, set them all up. And then
Yeah.
it's like a month or two off. Like I go too hard.
You do have like streaks, and you need to take a break.
Strikes and like deleting apps, re-downloading apps. Yeah,
Okay.
but I think that's normal. Like that, it's healthy. When it's not going to feel like it's not healthy, I don't want to do it.
Or not fun.
Right, exactly. Just like going through the motions, like you're not going to have any success with it at all. So like, just don't bother. Because I do feel like if I feel like I'm on the apps for the wrong reason, then I'll delete them. Which is more so like I'm bored. I'm bored. Then we look at the app. If I feel like I'm falling into that crutch, get off it. Because what's the point? How many girls can you talk to? Like it's overwhelming, and you don't go out with any of them.
You said to me recently you've been finding that like traditional dating apps, the rate of people actually showing up is lower. So I told you to get on Field, because I do find that people show up more from that app because they think they're
Like
gonna get
literally show up.
Like it's hard, I think, to like when you're chatting with somebody on traditional dating apps and you suggest a date. I think that people tend to cancel a lot, but like Field, you dangle sex a little bit in front of somebody. I'm showing up.
I more found that like the more like niche ones are interesting, no matter what they are. Like
Farmers
even
only?
something sure, like even something like Lock's Club or something like. Not that I would only date a Jewish woman, but it's like helping narrow down. It's like, okay, I'm on this thing just for this. Helps a little bit.
I love that.
Yeah.
I can see that totally. Like having some, which even would be Field is more niche than
Right, exactly.
the others.
Or even like I play around with a lot of them. There's one like Marble, which is really fun.
Marble.
So I think it's only in New York right now, but basically you make a reservation on Resi and you put that reservation into the app and it shows up on a map. And I could be like, or someone else could be like, oh, that person has a reservation at that restaurant at that time. I'll match and try and go. And then once you match, like that, you should
up.
go. Yeah, it's really cool.
People are just using you for the res.
For the corner store?
I'll take it.
Seems
like a good trade for me.
I did not know. Yes, you're getting smart. You're getting used for the corner store.
Anybody, you could be a monster and I will go to the corner store with you. You could be married trying to cheat on your wife. I'll still show up. And
How many ugly rich dudes are having hot dates at the corner store just because they got the res?
This is crazy.
That is crazy.
I'll do it.
It's good. Like it's a fun, like foodie one too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you can kind of see what interest they're in food, but what, like you judge someone by like where the reservation is. It's like, ooh,
Totally.
I would never go there. I don't want to take that
Yeah.
person. Oh, they're at the corner store. Oh shit. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
food and travel could be the only personality of my relationship with somebody. Like, if that's the only thing we connect on is cooking and restaurants and where we want to travel, I don't need anything else.
It's so true. It sustains you for literally ever. Like you're just never out of stuff to talk about. What do we have for dinner, babe? What are we cooking? Like I've been cooking so much with my fiance. I'm like, this is never going to get old. You got to
Never.
eat.
Right.
You guys get it.
I don't want
Girls
to.
gotta
I don't want to go mountain biking. I don't want to ski. I don't want to camp. I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to exercise together. I just want to eat and talk about food and cook together.
Well, I guess maybe that's like a difference of LA versus New York dating too. I find like in New York, like out here, people like want to go on hikes and shit for dates.
That is,
Yeah, I hate
that
it.
is
That
true.
is. I have been more open to non-drinking dates in New York, I will say, because they've gone
What would that even be?
surprisingly well.
I can't even picture it.
So this is so funny. So I went on a first date that was like fine. It was fine. She's very cute. It's fine. Whatever. And then she was like a fashion designer person, whatever. And we had talked about like her wanting to dress me, like go shopping with me. And the date didn't go that well, but I was like, whatever. Like she wants to fucking help me shop. Great. I'll take this. So we went out the next day shopping. And I guess it was a date. I didn't realize it was until I got there. But then it was great. We went shopping and
I like
walked
that
around the
idea.
city and got coffee. And I was like, wow, like I enjoy you so much more doing this than forcing
Yeah.
this thing over cocktails or whatever.
Well, I guess, yes, dating in New York and LA are wildly different if people want to do outdoorsy stuff here. But walking around the city of New York, popping into stores, or actually going into shop, like that would be like an ideal New York date, just walking around the city.
Yes, and I think it de-escalates the pressure of the date.
Yeah, and
You
it was
know?
like cute. I was like trying on stuff, and she was like, "Oh my god, you
She's
look
the
so
expert.
good." Blah 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 blah. You know.
Is that a
Yeah.
members only jacket?
Yeah, members only.
I love that jacket. Did she
That's
pick
a
that out
good
for you?
No, they sent this to me.
Oh,
Nice. I like the color.
yeah.
I picked the color though.
Okay.
I like members only jackets.
Could you even date somebody that wasn't passionate about food?
I don't think they have to be passionate, but like I couldn't date someone that like. I mean, a lot of food allergies is tough.
It is
I want to
tough.
go somewhere and travel and eat and share everything.
Yeah.
That's hard. Or almost even worse is just like having no interest in trying things. Like
Yes.
going somewhere, especially when I travel in foreign places, like I want to try everything. And again, like sharing is such like a special part of it. And if you just have, you don't have to like it, but like if you're like, no,
Yeah.
it's like, but this was like a
Totally.
shared experience and now we're not doing that.
People that eat to live, we have nothing in common.
Well, they'll find each other.
yeah. Yeah. And there is a lot more of that out here. Listen, I understand you moved to LA because you can be on a lake, in an ocean, on a mountain. Like, that's why people move here. They like that. I don't like that stuff. So it is harder for me to find people that hate camping and biking and being outdoors and exercising. Like, I just want people to, I want somebody that
Snowboarding.
hates everything.
None of that shit.
Yeah, none of that is good for me.
I don't want to do any of that.
That's why you guys used to date.
We slept together, actually. We didn't date.
No, I know. You wish. So, Jeremy, you really are like king of a first date. Tuna and first dates. And
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but yeah, sure.
You go on a lot.
I'm 37. I've been on a lot of first dates.
So, hot topic, paying for dates.
First dates.
First dates. Who do you think should pay? Do you pay? Do you always pay?
I always pay, even no matter what the situation is. Like I feel like I've definitely even been on dates where it's like, oh, like this did not go well at all. This is never happening again. But it's still like I'll pay for it. What do I care? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we agree. I just think, you probably asked her out. Like, just, you should pay. You got a
And
couple
like,
drinks.
I'll appreciate the pretends. The pretends. It doesn't matter to me either way. They don't have to. But they could pretend. They could reach. They could do a little reach. Start going in the purse. Just
No, I had this funny thing that happened the other day. He was like, I am going to pay, but you got to do the superficial reach.
Oh my God. Have you ever had someone insist?
Yes, and not in a way of like. I think sometimes women want to pay to prove this did not go well.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that. I've definitely had them just being like, they're like, I'm paying no matter what. This is my like thing on a first date. I'm going to do that kind of thing, and I'm still like, no. Like tough shit, Like I'll tell the waiter like that's not happening. Just run my card.
That is so tough shit. We've said that on the podcast that if I insist on paying, I'm friend zoning you on a first date.
That
Yeah.
means if I'm like really paying, I don't like you.
I think
Yeah.
I think there are like women that are like, I'm a strong, independent woman. My prerogative is I will pay for this first date just to show who I am. And like that's cool, that's great, but like still no.
I will pay
Sorry.
for the third date.
I pay. I'm paying. We're paying. I'm paying for stuff, but not the first date.
Yeah, I'm paying for the
And
third
I
date.
will die on that hill. And I don't fake reach.
I have not fake reached in a while.
I mean, it's been a minute since
Me
the first
too.
date, but like I don't like. Again, how much was it? It's $60.
But the only time it's happened is like on first dates where we've gone from bar to bar to bar.
Totally.
And now we've had like a lot of drinks, and they're like, "Let me get this round." Okay, sure.
I've-
like whatever. That's nice, and like whatever. I've already bought 1,000 drinks.
Let me
sure.
be so clear
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I've had that date in New York. You've bounced around a bunch. Like I got the round here. Like
Yeah.
I have put my card down when you have that type of date. But
Yeah.
one location, a couple drinks each. No, I'm not faking it.
I'm not even. I'm like, do I have to do this? He's like, I'm not going to do this, right?
I feel like I go, you got this. You got this, right? So we're in a standoff.
I'm like, I make more money than you, right? But you're gonna pay. If you want to fuck me, you're gonna pay for this.
Okay. I just picture Jeremy, like him and this like woman having this like back and forth.
He's like,
she shoves a 20 in your mouth. She's like, fucking take it. Okay. We asked our audience some poll questions. We had them weigh in. So we'll see how you feel about these.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not really New York based, but every other state.
Right. I think that might skew it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we had almost 5,000 people respond to each one of these. So do you want someone to pick you up for a first date? So women said overwhelmingly no. 86% said no, I don't want somebody to pick me up. And 14% said yes. I mean, to me, it just feels like a safety issue. I don't need somebody to know where I live. I also really don't want to bring somebody back to my place for a while.
Would you like, if it was New York City and I was like, I'll get you an Uber, would you like that? I still have to know where you live, I guess, but I'm not physically doing it.
We talked about this way back on the Mean Girl pod. And I don't know. I think I've walked back my stance on sending an Uber for a first date. Because then you still got my address.
Yeah.
I like the gesture, but I think that first date, it also is like, is this person a stranger from an app? Let's just assume that. You know, this isn't someone you met before and you know and sort of trust or have mutual friends with, whatever. A stranger from an app, I just don't think I need them knowing my address. First date.
Yeah.
Until I'm ready for somebody to come to my apartment, I don't need them to have my address. And so I appreciate the gesture of sending me home in an Uber, and that's very nice. And some guys are just like, why won't you just let me do a nice thing for you? And I just don't need it. And in New York, I felt a little safer because I lived in a building with 200 apartments and a doorman. The probability that somebody would find me in that building is pretty low, but I just don't need you to know where I live.
But let's talk about outside of New York. Like someone's like, I want to pick you up in my car. Oh my
Well,
God.
it's also
it's a
like,
jump
are
scare.
we getting a drink also? Like, you're definitely going to be drinking and driving tonight then? Like,
Right.
The last couple of app dates I've had, they've always all offered to pick me up.
See, I don't know that it's a red flag. I think it's chivalrous. Some people, that's why they're asking. They feel like they're being chivalrous. They're like, you pick a girl up.
Absolutely. I don't think it's ill-intentioned. I think it's really like positive. And every guy, has offered to pick me up, or do you want to just meet me there? And I'm just like, I appreciate the offer and I'll meet you there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, can I pick you up and we walk? He comes, picks me up. You walk.
I guess you could like
walking someone.
going the same distance. I'll walk and
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of nice too, I guess.
And I like a
like
walk home.
Like a walk home.
A walk home.
Like,
Is great.
yeah.
A walk home on a
Walk
New York
home.
City date. I love it. If you've had a good time.
Yeah, it's
And they can know
amazing.
where you live then.
Yeah.
Now that you built some trust.
But yeah, until I'm ready for you to know my address, even like I don't really want people to know where I live.
Yeah.
But like your building also, like there's how many apartments are in your building? 800?
So many. And also, like, if you follow me, you basically know where I live. It's like impossible. It's not like I'm sharing my address every day, but like,
Right.
I take a photo outside my window. It's so obvious where I live.
Right.
But I guess if we are talking about red flags, like I think if a guy offers, I'm not writing him off. But if he is insistent and being weird, no, I got to pick you up, I wouldn't go.
Oh, I think green flag if they offer.
Yeah.
But then you just say no, and they should politely just say okay.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, what? We're trying to get fucked up.
Right. I mean, that's the way my brain works. Like, why?
yeah, exactly.
It is funny when people drive, and I'm like, are we not drinking?
Right.
I'm trying to drink on the way here.
Okay, so this next one is probably my fave, and I can't wait to hear Jeremy's take on this. Ideal first date. And we asked dinner, drinks, or coffee, or if you want to fucking hike or something. But we just did dinner, drinks, and coffee. And again, we just had like over 5,000 people answer this. So 70% is drinks. So I think no food. People interpreted that no food. 22% is coffee. 8% dinner. No one wants to eat a meal.
I think that makes sense. I mean, for me, it's like a few things. One, you don't want to be trapped in this like never-ending thing, and dinner can be never-ending, and so I definitely don't want that. It's a big commitment, and also it's like a nice second date is dinner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess coffee would make sense for seconds. I'll do dinner on a first date if it's someone I like kind of know.
Kind of
enough.
know.
If I
Exactly.
kind of know,
Absolutely.
then I'll take them for dinner.
Totally.
If it's a stranger from an app or any other way, it's like, I'm just.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine meeting a stranger for an app at dinner?
One time I did a setup for dinner, and I was like, I cannot believe I am stuck in this.
A
Because
setup, or you mean?
right when we started the podcast, somebody set me up with somebody.
Oh my
and
God, right, yeah.
He was perfectly nice. It was just really not a personality match. And I was like, I am stuck here.
I mean, I did that. That guy took me on a taco tour, but I knew that like we were going to quick, easy places that I didn't have to sit for a
Well,
meal.
yeah, like that's what I'm gonna say. Like one of my favorite places is MPO and El Pastor because they have the tacos in the back.
Yep.
So it's like, let's get drinks. And then if you're hungry, let's get a fucking taco. It's right
Yes.
there. But it's not like a sit down. It's not a pressure thing. Like they could get a taco and whatever. You know what I mean?
I
Super
think
easy.
the moment of a first date when you have signed up for drinks and you both decide you want to stay a little longer and eat is a tell that you're liking each other.
Yes.
I think we've all been there. You met up for drinks. Should we get some food? Should we get some food? It's just very like, oh, we're feeling each other out. Then you get some food. Or you walk and go get a slice or whatever you do.
Yeah. I went on a date recently. It was a dinner date. It was 3 hours. Like, I can't imagine if I did not know this person ahead of time.
Right, yeah.
It would have been like torture.
Remember I went out with that guy and I didn't know him, but we did the tasting menu at Gramercy Tavern.
Yeah, that's
you
the
remember?
tasting menu. Yeah, do I remember? That was insane.
I mean, we had a
date.
great time. I went home with him. Like, we hooked up, but like, luckily I knew him.
You're talking, this is a long format, like 3-star fine dining restaurant. When you said the tasting menu and not the bar room, I was like, what?
No, when I walked in, I'm
This
like,
is a first date?
yes, but we had met
Okay,
mutual
yeah.
friends. Yes, like we've been chatting and flirting. So,
And
but
he
yeah,
was
so
somebody in the food world, so that is something
Okay,
he did
that all
want to
makes
do.
sense.
he's
Yeah,
food and
yeah.
wine, but Raina was like, I'm sure you're sitting in the bar. And so I walk in, I'm scanning the bar, and then he's in the back, white tablecloth, ready to go. I was like, what are we doing? But it was amazing.
No, it's amazing. It's a trigger point for me because my first boyfriend I lived with in New York City, second time I caught him cheating on me was because he had a receipt in his wallet from a tasting menu at Gramercy Tavern.
Oh my God.
And he told me he was at work, and I was like, "Who were you with?" And he told me it's none of your business, and I went ballistic.
And it's like, it's all right, but it's okay.
You know what came from that story is he was chasing me around the apartment. I was breaking all of his stuff, and I told him he had to fucking leave the apartment. And he's like, "I live here," and I was like, "Not anymore, bitch. You don't live here anymore, bitch." That was like one of the original tags of the podcast. That came from Gramercy Tavern. Okay, well, listen, I think coffee. I wouldn't suggest coffee,
Yeah.
but if somebody else did,
I
I'm
did
down
have
with
to
it.
do like a lot of COVID coffee dates. And I was like, this is nice. Like,
Yeah.
I totally get it. And like, I do think that like, I'm up in the morning anyway. I've thought about this of like, I'm up at 5 in the morning. If I could go do like an 8 a.m. coffee date one day, I'm kind of into it.
8 a.m.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's like we're in this together.
Yeah.
We're in the trenches.
Yeah.
I'm
up. What are you
we
doing?
met someone out at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Like this is bonding.
Well, then you also know that you're like similar, right?
That's what I mean
like
too,
you
yes.
found another person that's willing
If that person's
to do
like, why don't
that.
wake up till 11 a.m., I'm like, it's probably going to work anyway. So.
Yeah, it's good vetting.
Yeah.
How do you feel about activities as a first date?
Like bowling or mini golf or
Or even like let's walk around a food festival, anything that's not
So
sit at
I
a
just
bar.
kind of feel like on a first date, I just want to know if like we vibe.
We vibe. Mm-hmm.
And I think that if there's too many things going on, it could kind of like, not that alcohol can't trick you either, but it could kind of like get away from what is the vibe between you guys. It's like, I had such a great time. Was it because like you were doing this really fun thing, or is it because of that person?
Yeah.
I'd rather just be like stripped down. We're at a bar, like nothing too crazy. Like, let's just get a drink and see
see
what
if we
it
have
is.
chemistry.
Right, exactly,
I
yeah.
love the activities second date.
Yes, 100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
First date, let's not make it more than it is.
Right.
Well, let's give 1 hour to this and have a drink.
No, like
Right.
I gotta rent bowling shoes. I gotta do mini golf. We need accessories. You know.
I don't want to be thinking about like impressing you with my dazzling personality and activities.
Yeah.
I can't bowl.
I mean, I do think too that like if you were going to go too big on a first date, it's like overcompensating huge for something. Like, you know, I mean, we have friends who talk to other people like, oh, on a first date, we went in a helicopter and went to dinner in Toronto.
What is this,
or
The
whatever.
Bachelor?
Fuck. Like,
I want to date that guy.
it's like, well, there's probably something really wrong.
That's too
Or it's
much.
like very love bomby.
Yeah.
It's too much
Yes,
trying
right.
to impress. Well,
Right.
or you could be offered to go pick up trash. Like Tessa, this guy asked if she wanted to go pick up trash on the beach first date.
psychotic. It was literally.
you know,
she's been doing it. The beach is clean. It was. We talked about it at length. We support the beach cleanup, but
It's well intentioned, and I think that
Totally.
like, you know, we tell men today like respect women, have ideas outside the box, don't just like take them to a dark bar. And I think that this guy was trying to come up with a good
respect
idea.
women. Respect women. Make them pick up trash.
They're like, you like to clean, right?
Like, hey, I have an idea. Can you come over and vacuum?
Also, just make me a snack and suck my dick on the way out the door.
Okay, this one I got to know Jeremy's take.
So
And if he does this,
Oh, God.
So, is it a turnoff if someone suggests a date location right next to their apartment? And I know you've done this a lot.
So here's what I'll say. And I did get in trouble. But okay, sorry. Give me the answers. Yes.
So is it a turn off? The responses are yes, no, and not necessarily. So overwhelmingly, people said not necessarily a turn off. So 72% of people, yes, hard yes, turn off 25% of people, which is pretty high. And 3% of people said no. I think most people are like, I don't know, do we both live in the same area? Is it cool? You live in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
It's not such a far-fetched thing that you would suggest a bar in Williamsburg.
Right. I mean, my thing is always like, okay, where do you live? Okay, they say Upper East Side. I'm not going to make them come to Williamsburg. I'll pick somewhere in the middle, wherever, East Village, whatever. Most of my dates are probably with people in Williamsburg just because I don't want to leave Williamsburg. We have the best of everything. So, like, inevitably, every bar in Williamsburg is within a few blocks of me. But I did get in trouble. There's this girl I went out with, and she lived in an area not too far in Brooklyn, but, like, not a subway connection. And there was not really anything between us. So the choice was go to a bar near her apartment or go to your bar near my apartment. And I don't know any bars near her. So like I picked the bar near my apartment that I like, that I go on a lot of first dates at because like I like having control of the first date too, just because like I like to eliminate what would like make me nervous, I guess. So it's like I don't like mystery. Let me go to a bar I've been to before, so there's no mystery. I get there 15 minutes early because I want to make sure like I have a seat. The worst thing that happens is like we get there, we've never met, and now but now we can't sit down, so we're like awkwardly standing there. We can't order, trying to talk to each other. Fuck that shit.
Oh my god.
So I get there. I always get there early because so many times happen. Like I'll get there early, no seats. I'll text him like, "Hey, I got here early. There's no seats. I'm gonna go take a walk. I'll let you know when I find a bar. It'll be within 2 blocks or whatever the fuck." But yeah, so I did this with this girl, and she was basically like, you picked the bar next to your apartment, blah, blah, blah. And I gave her the same explanation. I'm like, well, I didn't know any bars near you. And like there's nothing between us. She's like, all these other men would have done all this research and found a bar near me and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, what do you want from me?
Well, why didn't she suggest a bar?
I don't know.
If that's important to her.
Right.
I'm not victim blaming. But I mean, if she's like, my boundary is I want something near me and you don't know the area near her, then why doesn't she
And I guess I could have done
something?
research, but like, I don't know. I also know the 10 billion bars near me that are great. And also like, to me, what's the difference? If I'm finding a bar next to her apartment or next to my apartment, isn't the implication the same no matter which one we're near?
Right.
Of like, oh, we're close to the apartment so we can bang. It's like, even if we're a block away near your apartment, what's the difference?
Yeah. I want to hone in on the way that you operate with dates. I think it's really important for, I mean, men listening. I mean, I think we all want to feel like the guy, if he's asked us out on a date, if you're in a heterosexual relationship dating, that they are in control. And so that is going somewhere that they feel comfortable and can suss it out, and like you said, are not like fighting for bar seats. That's the worst thing I could possibly imagine. Is he doesn't have it under control when I get there. Yep. So you're getting there early, you're spinning the block if you got to find somewhere else. I don't like women to have to travel too far on a first date. I told you it's not hot girl shit. So I do like that it would be somewhere in between, or if they know a place closer to where I am, which is probably mostly the case, except for if she lived in this weird area.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like, I would have tried somewhere in the middle, or it's like, well, there's nothing in the middle. Great. I'm in Williamsburg. There's 10,000 bars. Yeah. And I know them all. So we're going to go to one of those places.
I like that you also said, like, I know that I'll be the most physically comfortable in a place that, like, I know the terrain basically. Like I know where the seats are. I love when a guy like knows one of the bartenders, the manager, and it's just like an easy way to get a seat. Like if somebody's just like my friend works there, great, that's where we're going. Like I just sometimes people ask me to like suggest a bar, and there's plenty of bars right by me. I live by Abbot Kinney, which is the most bars and restaurants there could be, but I never know where the vibe's going to be at them sometimes.
Well, the funniest is I was surprised one time the opposite thing happens. I suggested a bar. Again, she lives Lower East Side, I guess, and I'm Williamsburg, so I'm like, okay, we'll pick a bar Lower East Side. There's a billion bars there. Fuck, I forget the name of this bar. I'm never gonna remember. It doesn't matter. It's like kind of behind a hotel, like very secluded. It used to be like a crazy Coke tent bar, and now it's something else, but still like kind of dark and dingy, whatever. So we go there and we sit down. I was like, oh, have you been here before? She's like, oh, yeah, I didn't want to tell you, but actually my best friend is like a waitress here. I'm here all the fucking time. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then she was like, we were going to play a prank on you, that she was going to show up and start making out. And I was like, how is that a prank on me?
I'm going to masturbate while you do that. Prank you.
I love pranks. Can we do the prank? Can you guys get the prank going?
Can you guys do the prank in my apartment?
A little more self-conscious though, because then her friend did show up, and now her friend's like working the room, and I got like on a date. I'm like, it makes me feel weird, you know?
So did they make out?
When are you guys going to make out?
No, because she blew the prank by telling me ahead of time or something. I don't fucking know.
You're like, hey, so how about that prank? Is that going to happen? I just got gotta tell you, I love pranks. And if you could prank me, it'd be so hot. The pranks are my kink.
Do you guys want to come over and prank me?
I honestly love pranks at my apartment. My apartment is set up for pranks. If you guys want to come over, great place to do pranks.
Sometimes I take my pants off during pranks.
Do you guys mind if I jerk off during the prank? It's just like I really like you guys put a lot of work into it.
Just want to be part of the joke.
I want to support it. Show how much I appreciate the prank. Oh my God.
But I did feel like self-conscious, like, oh, someone like knows. The second I know someone knows I'm on a date, I'm like, oh, they're looking at me. But it worked out. Her friend is very sweet and like whatever, like helps us, like walks us in the menu and it's totally fine.
Her friend is better in bed than she is. Yeah. I mean, I guess that ultimately, when I was dating in New York, I don't want it too close to my place either. Yeah. I want to travel less, but I don't want it right next door to where I live either. Yeah. You know, that even can feel a little presumptuous.
Well, that's why I was like, why pick somewhere next to you? What's the difference then?
Yeah.
Well, also then I'm like, where's the line? Because like I was out to dinner with a friend of mine and he was like, I bring all my dates here. Like even the bartender I could tell was like,
totally.
Is this another one?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we're not on a date. And like I didn't like that either. Like
You got to have a few different places.
yeah.
To spread them out.
Yes. My friend was like, I bring all my dates here. And I'm like, that's too much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So end of the date behavior. I'm curious what you do. Is it a deal breaker for someone to not make sure you got home okay at the end of the night? So the answers were yes, no, and I don't love it, but it's fine.
I laughed at Raina's conversational tone. She put this one up. Yes, no, I don't love it, but it's fine.
I was like, how am I feeling? And I'm like, that's how I'm feeling.
I don't love it, but it's fine.
I don't love it. It's fine.
It's just so Raina. Like, I wonder if people reading that were like, Raina wrote that.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why I wrote that. But I mean, because I don't love it, but it's fine.
But I can see that. I can see them to being like, yeah, it'd be nice, but I don't give a shit about this dude, so who fucking cares?
Right.
You know, like that kind of approach.
I had an experience the other night where like we texted a little bit while I was in the car on the way home. I think he knew mostly I didn't get murdered. And he didn't say like, did you walk into the door yet?
Right.
And, like, I think a lot of guys are like, let me know if you got home okay. And it's not performative. I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. Mostly I'm fine. So 56% of people, I don't love it, but it's fine.
Yeah, see?
35%, yeah, it's a deal breaker if you don't make sure that I get home. And 10%, no, it's not a deal breaker. But I do find it strange if there's no communication after you walk out the door. Like the other night I laughed and we are just kind of like joking about stuff that happened at the restaurant or whatever. And I think he could have assumed I got home okay and texted me first thing in the morning.
Right, I was going to say his first thing in the morning counts also.
Yeah. I think if you're a guy who doesn't really ever want to see that person
That's what I was
again.
Say also, like it's
I don't
definitely
think
sending a signal of like, okay, I'm into you, checking her
Absolutely.
safety. What if you don't want to send that signal?
I think if you like her at all, you should do this.
Yes, yeah.
But I also think it's situational. Like some situations of leaving the date feel like more quote unquote dangerous than others. I don't know. I guess it's always it's appreciated.
If someone said to me, I mean, generally I would say that like I do. Like I don't want to say I did 100% just because I don't remember, but like generally like no matter what, because also I walk from dates, even if I don't think it's any kind of connection, I view every connection as positive and who knows. So like whatever, sure, you get home, okay, cool. But I do think it's a difference of like, okay, I put them in an Uber and they went home compared to, bye, I'm going to go take the one train and get home at some point.
In
like,
New York
I should
City,
probably
yes.
text that person just to, like actually be worried more than anything.
In New York City, it was much more of a deal breaker
Yeah.
for me. Now, if you're going to watch me walk out of a place, get in my car, drive home, go into my garage, I don't need you to check on me, really. But New York, if I was like, I'm going to walk home or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, the worst that ever happened to me was that guy. We went on a date. It was like COVID-y times. We, were in the COVID tent on the street, and I did go home with him. We did hook up, and I walked out of his place at midnight, 1 a.m, didn't even offer, can I get an Uber, didn't check in on me, just a terrible person. And I did get revenge on him later. But one day we'll share.
That's
it's
the
just
worst.
gross.
When you go to a guy's place, I went to somebody's place the other day and I was like, I'm just going to get an Uber home. I like took an Uber there because I knew we'd be drinking and he insisted on driving me home. And I appreciate it. We'd been on a few dates and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate somebody being like this. Also, he lives 10 minutes from me.
I guess so.
We
I
didn't
just
have to
feel
drive
like
a
if
long
someone
way.
makes a decision, I think it's different. Like, I'll get the Uber. It feels different to be like, I got to drive you home.
The thing that happened to me was like not even an offer and then not a check-in. Because I think you also need to let adults do what they're going to do. If you're a guy who's like, I really don't want her to walk out right now and walk home in the middle of the night, like But what are you going to do? Force something else on her? Like, you kind of have to trust a person if they're like, I do this all the time and I'm okay. But then you do check in that they did survive it.
100%. Yeah, it was sort of annoying. I was like, I called an Uber. And he's like, I'll just drive you. And I was like, but I called an Uber. And he was like, but I'll just drive you. I was like, fine. Just fucking drive me then. I don't care. I have this theory that like women don't really act crazy in the first like men act crazy in the initial stages of dating. Women are smart enough to keep it in the box. Men are not. No, you're shaking your head. So
no, I agree with you.
Have you like women? Every woman has a billion first date stories that are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Men don't.
I have none. I mean, I do, but like nothing compared to women.
Yeah,
mine are just
that
like
prank. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, because women can control their crazy.
Yeah,
men cannot. Absolutely not.
I know. It oozes out of them.
No, they're like, a new person, now's my chance. Like, just when you see such crazy behavior, we ask people and we'll read some for like crazy first date stories. I mean, they flooded in more than any other request we ever give. I mean, and the stories are insane. They're not just sort of like, he made me split the bill with him. Like, it's some of the most psychotic stuff I've ever heard in my life, and everybody has 10 of these.
Yeah, I've like, people ask me what's on my mind. I'm like, and I tell it, but like, it's not that insane. Just
Right.
All right, well, with that in mind, we did ask people for some really crazy first date stories. It's a treasure trove. We're going to do more of these. Men act insane. If we said if you're a man, send us crazy first date stories, the inbox would be dry.
That'd be like, oh, that girl didn't fucking sleep with me. It's so stupid. It's like, okay, yeah her guy.
She got so wasted. I don't know. Guys, there's some guys out there that have had a weird night with me. You guys know, Jeremy, you were there. Remember when I met that guy and I liked him so much? Oh no, you and Jeremy came over the next day and I was in like a dark hole about it. Jeremy wasn't out with us the night before. Remember, I met that guy. I'd been drinking for hours. This was like early days of New York. I just became friends with you. I was at my first apartment, probably like 2018. And I was already too drunk when I met him, but I like...
We'd been drinking all day.
Gravitated towards him immediately. He worked at CNN or something. He had like a shirt that had Biggie on it, like whatever. I remember we just vibed immediately, but even the early conversation is fuzzy. Like we were blacking out. We were making out at the bar. I was like, this is my man. And I blacked out and I went home with him and I kind of blacked back in at 3 or 4 in the morning in this like West Village apartment and was like, where am I? I was like, I get really confused. I don't drink like this anymore. And I was like, what happened? And I'm not saying he like did anything, but we maybe had been making out. I was just like so wasted still and like not sure where I was. I was probably like asking insane questions like, who are you? Where am I? And then I just like got an Uber and then I got like mad at him about something. I don't even remember. Like, and I got home, the sun was rising and I was just mortified. You guys came over the next day and Raina was like, it's okay, everybody gets drunk. And I was like, and then I did find him and DM him. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And then he never responded.
It was a dark day. But
yeah.
I think most guys, their crazy quote unquote first date stories is she was just super drunk.
Got drunk.
Okay. Yeah.
Some men would argue, but I don't think the majority would argue that women act that crazy. We keep it in the box.
Yeah, women are like,
For a
he
while.
said the N-word to the server. It's crazy. He did a Nazi salute? I don't know.
We could do only a podcast about first dates, and we would have an endless amount of content. Okay, I'm excited about this. I'm going to read you this. Okay, she says, I was asked out on a date by the hot man cutting down my neighbor's tree.
That's your type of man.
It is. And I actually cut this out a little bit, but she tells this whole story. She walked across the street. She was like, I might need my trees cut down. And she started like a whole conversation with him. We cut these down. These are long to begin with.
Can you imagine like getting a tree cut down just to flirt with somebody? Like you don't even need it.
Do you remember all the time I bought that art?
Yes.
I was buying all that expensive art because I like the bouncer at the gallery.
R.I.P. Rusty.
I hope Rusty's doing well. Okay, so she was asked out by this guy that cuts down trees. We made plans later that week to go for a walk around the falls, then stop at a Mexican restaurant for dinner. When the day came, he picked me up right on time, and I got into his truck. I'm turned on. As he starts driving, I noticed he's not going in the direction of where we had planned to go. I asked him where we're going, and he replied, I don't know. I just figured we would drive around. I need to run some errands. He said, I need a new comforter and sheets.
Ew, why?
I mean, that could be maybe he needs to know.
Maybe he's...
It depends on how he said it. That could
exactly.
be,
You're in this person's truck, and they're like, we're going to run errands right now.
Yeah.
She goes, I went with it. We stopped at Target and he asked me to pick out what he needed for his bed, which then I'm in because I'm like, I get to pick the decor.
Exactly.
After that, he began to drive around. I just figured at this point we weren't going on our walk or to get dinner. He keeps driving around aimlessly and keeps pointing out dead trees he keeps seeing. He proceeds to talk about trees for 45 minutes. He talks about the history of arborists.
Well, now I'm into it.
I know, so I pulled it for you. The types of trees and how you know that they're dead. I could not get a single word out, nor did he ask me any questions about myself. Eventually, he pulls into a restaurant and says, "We're eating here."
All this still sounds like your dream date right now.
Kind of, honestly.
We're eating here.
This ends
I think
Trina,
I
yeah.
dated him, actually. This is my ex. After dinner, he asked me if I want to go to his house to help him put the sheets on the bed.
Wait, I just had a memory unlocked when I had to put the sheets on it.
That Airbnb.
That Airbnb guy, I had to help put sheets on the bed because there was a family standing outside. Like furiously putting pillowcases on.
Actually met the family.
So he Airbnb'd one bedroom of his 2-bedroom. The family came in, they didn't really speak English. I was like, hey, I'm Ashley. What is happening?
Cuties,
He's never done this.
They're hopped up on the chair. All right, so they're going back to his house. She goes, even though I hated his personality, I figured he was still hot and I could use some D. We get to his place and he essentially starts ripping off my clothing the second we walk in the door. Little did I know I was about to have the most awkward sex of my life. Not only did he take a break every 10 to 20 seconds, he literally walked out of the bathroom to give himself a pep talk in the living room of how to make himself last longer, saying stuff like, "Come on, man, you could do this."
He's like, picture your favorite tree.
No, that'll make him come.
You're a strong oak tree. You're a strong oak tree.
That's how he comes, actually. His dirty talk is about trees. Then he would walk back into the bedroom and continue where he left off. Eventually, I was ready for the experience to be over. My eyes were closed the majority of time, and when I finally opened them, I realized I was a couple feet away from a large deer head on the wall staring at me. I couldn't focus on anything else other than the deer staring at my soul. I have never wanted sex to end so badly. Finally, it was over, and I said it was time to take me home, and he told me he would drive me home under one condition. I had to make his bed with the new sheets and comforter.
So they didn't use the new sheets to begin with?
No, I don't think you walk in the door and you make the bed.
But I can't tell if that was part of the game or not. Like, we're getting new sheets just so he has the excuse to
know.
be like, let's use the new sheet. This whole thing's very
To me,
confusing.
I'm not putting new sheets on the bed to have sex with a new person.
The way she ended it makes me wonder if she made this up, in which case it's an amazing bit. She has the callback at the end. She's like, how can I call back to the comforter? I mean, creativity, 10 out of 10, if she made this up.
So many
So
questions.
she didn't make this up. This was about a year ago, and she sent me the clip.
This is from Tessa. Just kidding.
It's from like Matt Rife was doing a comedy show somewhere. I don't remember where. And she was in the front row, and he reads this story and then talks to her about the whole situation.
This story?
This story.
Wait, do you know where they
Oh.
live? Where was this?
It
Yeah.
honestly looked like Raleigh or Charlotte. I'll
Okay.
find out where. But it was
All right,
about a year ago, and she sent the clip. And yeah, I mean, she's a real person. This seems like a real story.
Oh my God, that's such a funny, I didn't know that about the Matt Rife thing.
I was like, you got to send me the clip. We can watch it together
Oh
later.
my gosh. Yeah, what questions do you have?
I mean, so many questions, but also this man was rewarded for being a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
I just, you know,
What's going to stop him from doing this again? He got everything he
that's
wanted.
so true. She made the bed and she fucked it.
so, you know, not to like take it in a serious direction, but like most of the stories that we read, we got tons of stories from you guys, and thank you for all the submissions. So many of them were like, this behavior was weird, but I just went with it. And I think that like that happens a lot. As long as you feel safe, that's
right, of
the
course.
most important thing.
Yeah.
But like you should feel empowered to leave.
Totally.
At any time, always. And so many of these stories were just like somebody had bad behavior at a restaurant or with the server. Or I went back to his place and he was acting kind of weird. Like, you should feel empowered to not placate
always.
a person and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And I think women are just like, I'll just ride this out.
Well,
This
she said
idiot.
what? She like was horny, which is also
Yeah.
fine, but like also don't trick yourself into being horny and thinking you just want some dick. Like if you really are feeling weirded out, just go.
But I also think like this is like the man's strategy, especially on apps when people are like, how could he say that to me? How could he do this to me? And it's like, you should act that way. But why men do that is because they do it to 100 women and one of them will be down
Yeah.
for it. And that's their strategy. I'm just going to be a fucking crazy person. One of them will just be hot and horny. So great.
Right.
That's the game they play.
It's so true. Like he did all this stuff and he still got laid. That's literally validating that nothing he did.
Right.
Was out of
like,
pocket.
and the next 100 girls could say no to it. He's like, got one of them, so I'll keep trying this, I guess.
And he like
Right.
drove around and talked about what he knew and didn't ask her any questions. And he's not getting any feedback other than we're going to fuck at the end of this, you
It
know?
all worked out.
Well, and I don't know, it feels a little disrespectful to bring somebody out on some errands.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why I'm like, if the sheets are part of the game, like you open up his closet, just 100 sheets.
Oh
in
my
there.
God,
Like,
this is his
every
move.
date is just the same thing.
Yeah, he's
he
like-
goes and returns them.
Totally. He's got a sheet kink.
So many times I've just like done it for the plot, but like I do think when you go
same.
home with somebody and you sleep with them, now there's like this kind of social contract between you and this person, and they are sort of in your life, and now you got to like deal with it. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, well, hopefully she won't need any trees chopped down. Okay, we're just going to do one more. So she writes, my first date after a long-term relationship, I met a cop at a bar and he convinced me to go out with him. We went to a Dominican restaurant and he ordered multiple pitchers of drinks and rounds of hookah. Okay. He opened up about how he lives at home, financially supports his family, but not really interested in moving out since he enjoys his mom's cooking and the comfort of it all. In my buzz state, this tugs at my heart. So when the bill came, I offered to split it with him. After a few seconds, he says, are you sure? Well, I can't back out now. My half of it was $150. I felt a certain way since he was the one ordering the multiple pitchers and the rounds of hookah, but a 23-year-old me wanted to show my independence. As we get into his car from the valet, he's pretty buzzed, but I was too. He full-on hits a parked car in the valet area as he's trying to get out and then speeds off while reminding me he's a state trooper and saying, it's all good. What state? Tell us. Next thing I realize is that we're going the opposite way to my apartment. I bring it up to him and he says, oh, I was actually thinking we go back to my place since my parents are out of town. So I accept my fate that I'm being kidnapped. We show up to his apartment building. He gives me a tour. And when we get to his room, he still has a bunk bed from when he and his brother used to share. Not the bunk bed. His brother has since moved out and married. I still don't know how I stayed around that night. Exactly. Eventually we made out on his couch and I had to call an Uber since he was too drunk to drive me home and didn't want to lose his parking spot. These are the people protecting and serving our communities.
He hit a parked car, a
Unreal.
police officer.
I think there's two separate things there. I think on the one hand, someone ever get in a fucking car with someone buzz. Like, honestly, like, I did it once. And I just didn't know. Like, I was very young and I got in a car with someone. And like, we drank the same amount and I felt fine. So I was like, okay, it must be fine. He was not. And I was just like, you know what? Being in that car, I was like, this is the stupidest way to die in the history of the fucking world.
Yeah,
just
totally.
Don't.
Totally.
Get the fuck out. Like, that's
I
it.
know.
You hit a goddamn car.
Right.
Get the
That was your
run out of
sign.
the car.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
a separate thing.
And
from the
again,
fun,
I do
so
think
whatever,
that like
but-
women are just trained to like placate a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But you're so right. He hit a car. He's been drinking pitchers. I mean, I again have a rough past with drinking and driving, and I know that. And like, it's so funny because I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, something bad really could have happened. But obviously, so don't drink and drive. I can't even imagine it now. It's like weird to think about. But I was with this guy, and I could tell he was drunker than I realized. And I remember where I was. I was on Piedmont Road in Atlanta, and I knew where the Chick-fil-A was. I was like, I'm going to have him pull over when we into the Chick-fil-A parking lot and just tell him gently, like, hey, I think you should pull over and let's figure this out, and we'll get a cab or whatever. This is pre-Uber. And that's when the blue lights came on, and he went to jail. It was crazy. I mean, he got a DUI on our date. I had to bail him out of jail the next morning. He took forever to pay me back. I had to go to a bail bondsman, and luckily I know how it works because I've been through it. But
Yeah.
it was insane. And then I was with another guy who I was like just hooking up with this guy. This was also back in Atlanta. And one night I was out with him and he was driving and I didn't realize he had been drinking and it started to hit me. And I was like, you got to drop me off. I felt unsafe, whatever. I ended up getting out of the car and I was like, you're going to get a DUI. I don't really think this is a match and just be careful out there. A week later, I got a DUI.
I was like, I did not see that coming.
I was like, I'm a witch and I'm a DUI whisperer.
But again, this man was rewarded for being a fucking lunatic. That's a little far, but like for making every wrong decision, he was still rewarded. So it's like, come on.
I think that we are getting better at saying no to men. I think when you're really young, like I made these type of decisions. I didn't catch the ages of these girls. When I was like 24, 25, it was hard for me to say no. And I just was like, well, I'm here. I'll just lean into it. I don't want to be a problem. I don't want to cause an issue, you know. Before Uber also, you're like, well, how am I going to get home?
But even like splitting the thing, like if that's going to make you feel weird and be like, you know, do the fake. And then like, no, he should have paid for it.
But I would be like, you brought me to the hookah bar.
Oh,
I
the
know
hookah
these
too.
are
Ugh.
expensive.
Yeah.
This is like bottle service out here.
Is that expensive?
Well, I just know it's
Just
a,
in general,
it's a
it's
thing
like
you got to
shitty
pay
alcohol, it's more
for.
expensive. Yeah.
Like I'm like, if you came here, this is an added expense. I didn't need to do hookah tonight.
Also, if somebody else is doing all the ordering, I don't think I should have to pay.
Right.
Like $300 is an extremely expensive check, and it would make me uncomfortable on a first date to not offer to split that. Like somebody does not owe me a $300 dinner, but if you're doing all the ordering
And you chose
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I
think
guess
that's
I've done that
I do
multiple
really
times,
think
but
that's
you know,
a great call. I think probably it's just unacceptable to drink and drive. Like, I mean, and that's coming from someone that used to do it all the time, like this day and age. And you're so right. Like, can you imagine that's how you go out on a first date with some drunk idiot in his F-150?
sounds like using a PT Cruiser.
No, a Kia Soul.
What are cops drive?
Also, never get in a Kia Soul, just in general. Like, if someone drives a Kia Soul, like, you can't.
Better than like a fucking Cybertruck.
Okay, on the hierarchy.
What's worse? It's Cybertruck's the top.
Has to be.
But to rain a PT Cruiser with a deep cut. Are they still around?
Yeah, they're the worst.
They're somewhere.
So Cybertruck, and then after that, like,
I mean, any fucking Tesla
What's
at
a
this
cop?
point.
What's a cop car? Crown Vic?
That's like old school. Now
I get
they're
in a
like,
Crown Vic comfy.
yeah.
Big backseat.
Cybertruck, and then I think Kia Soul is right on.
The green one.
Have you guys seen
They can
them?
be cool. I don't know.
What else?
I mean, any kind of like oversized giant truck that's like absurd.
yeah.
Like your car is big, but that's still a normal car. Like if you like switched out the tires on your fucking giant
Lifted
pickup truck,
it.
and you're not working on a farm.
Anything lifted.
Yeah.
I don't love a souped up sports car. Listen, I'm not hot enough to get picked up in a Lamborghini, but
I'm sorry,
that's for girls in their 20s
what
in LA.
A Lamborghini is a red flag to you? Can you imagine? It's my dream.
It's you, but like you getting out of a Lamborghini is your dream. Like,
Actually,
you
no, it's
owning
not.
the
Just full
Lamborghini.
pussy out. Those cars are so hard to get out of.
Are those the suicide doors?
Butterfly, suicide. I think they're both.
Well, Lamborghinis
covered-
red flag.
If you have a Lamborghini, like, did you rent it? Is my point. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
can't
Like,
do that.
The
Yeah.
only people that have those are super rich. You should know that going in advance who you're going on a date with. So if it's it's like, did you rent this for the date?
Well,
They have
some
the
people
Honda
those, like-
Civic at home.
Well, the people have those like cars of the month clubs, which I think are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich.
They have,
Right, I'm walking
they have a
back.
timeshare.
Timeshare Lamborghini.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jeremy, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
We covered a lot.
Yeah, this is fun.
Tuna, Lambos, DUIs.
Your content is so good, and you're on
best.
literally every platform imaginable. So where do you want people to find you?
Everywhere you want to find me, I'm there. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat. Got the podcast going, newsletter if you want to like dive deeper into anything. Yeah, fun stuff everywhere.
And that's at Jeremy Jacobowitz.
At Jeremy Jacobowitz, yeah.
What's your fave?
My fave to produce for? I mean, I love YouTube. I watch
Yeah.
YouTube all day. I watch you guys on YouTube.
He
thanks.
gives me feedback on our YouTube episodes all the time.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
we'll talk
YouTube's
later.
on 24/7.
Okay. And you guys can check us out on YouTube. We are on YouTube, so join the club. Jeremy's the president. And we are girlsgottaeat.com, Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina's Raina.Greenberg. And we will see you Thursday.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.